Girimsa Temple is one of the most ancient temples in Korea. This is Iljumun, or the main gate of Girimsa Temple. It seems intoxicated by the autumn sunlight and the aroma of autumn flowers. The temple was founded by Venerable Allakuk, a prince of an Indian country, in 643, the 12th year of Queen Sunduk's reign of Silla. He was a disciple of a Saint Gyeongju Sungin from the Indian state of Bamara. The earliest temple was a humble hermitage named Girimsa Temple, whose name Venerable Wonhyo changes to current Girimsa Temple. This is 4 Heavenly Kings' Gate. Here are 4 Mahajaras, or 4 guardian kings of the 4 quarters of heaven. This king who holds the blue dragon and the Kintamani is Virudaka. This king who has a stupa is Birufaksa. The king Vaisravana holds a lute. That king Dhritarashtra takes a sword. These kings guard these temples. Look at the devil crushed under the king's foot. The 7-bay building over there is Jinnamru Hall. Jinnam suggests to suppress the South, especially Japan. This building was built after 1740. Look at the lotus flowers on each wing of the double wing bracket. Each outer end of the crossbeam is carved like a chicken head. This is the temple court. The main hall, Daejak Hall, stands in the middle in the north. To the east, Yaksajan Hall is facing south, with the site of a wooden pagoda in front. Here is a 3-story stone pagoda. To the west is Eungjinjan Hall facing the east. The hall in which Vairocana Buddha is enshrined is called Daejak Hall. This hall is majestic with its gabled roof and many brackets. The hall is dedicated to Vairocana Buddha triad. Medicine Buddha and Amitabha Buddha are enshrined on the left and right of the central Buddha, respectively. These Buddhas were made of Jupiter and mud in the early 16th century. The 3 scroll paintings behind the 3 Buddhas are the treasures of Korea. They were created in 1718 by 7 artists. This is just one of them now. Look at the Yaksajan Hall sacred to Medicine Buddha. It was built before the 1600s but reconstructed in 1654 during the Joseon dynasty. Here are Medicine Buddha and 2 attendant bodhisattvas. The Surya Prabha Bodhisattva, literally sunlight bodhisattva, is on the left of the Medicine Buddha, and the Kendra Prabha Bodhisattva, literally moonlight bodhisattva, is on the right. Look at the mural painting on the upper west wall. An old monk is offering tea to a Buddhist saint. This painting suggests the founding story of this temple. There lived a saint called Gyeongju Sungin in the country of Bamara in India. He is standing in the center of this painting. A monk and 3 maids, as well as he, were Buddha disciples in his previous life. The monk and the 3 maids fell in love and violated Buddhist rules. It was up to Gyeongju Sungin to enlighten his colleagues reborn in this life. The reborn monk became King Sudara. The 3 maids were reborn as his queen, concubine, and son. The monk holding the tea bowl is King Sudara. The monk on the left side of the saint is Brahmin Sungyal. The saint sent to Brahmin to bring the concubine of King Sudara first, then King Sudara and the queen. The king arrived at the saint, but the queen died on the way. Instead, their son came, and they all became his disciples. The saint asked the son called Anlakuk to go to Silla and establish a temple. He came here from India and built a small hermitage called Imjeongsa. That's the origin of this temple. In this temple, preparing for and offering teas with water from 5 springs to the Buddha, and raising 5 colored flowers with water from the same springs were a kind of Buddhist discipline. That is why there are many flowers in this temple and bubbling water in the springs everywhere. This stone pagoda was built over 1,000 years ago in the late unified Silla period. The building behind it is Ungjinjan Hall. Buddha's 500 disciples are sitting jam-packed like sunflower seeds in the hall. 4 monks created them from Girimsa Temple and 3 from this temple in 1729. Now let's go up the western stairs. It's Gwanamjan Hall. The Bodhisattva of Great Compassion is enshrined in this hall. As she has 1,000 eyes and hands, she is called 1,000 Eyes and Hands Bodhisattva. Each hand has an eye on the palm. Since she also has 11 faces, she is called the Bodhisattva of Great Compassion with 11 faces. This is Samcheonbuljan Hall, in which 3,000 Buddhas are enshrined. 1,000 past Buddhas, 1,000 present Buddhas, and 1,000 future Buddhas. In early 1718, a Buddhist monk, Venerable Choi Sansa, made 1,000 Buddhas with jade produced here. The following year, he carried them to Daejeonsa Temple, currently Daejeonsa Temple, Haenam County, on a ship. It's quiet in Samsungak Hall, literary hall dedicated to 3 saints. They are Mountain God, Chilsung, and Nabanjonja. These are all gods from outside of Buddhism. They are responsible for human wealth, longevity, and good fortune. In this Myeongbujan Hall, Kitisigalba Bodhisattva, or the Bodhisattva of the Netherworld, and the 10 kings of the Netherworld are enshrined. The Bodhisattva vowed to enlighten the whole people fallen in the 6 realms of reincarnation from Shakyamuni's death to the time of Maitreya Buddha. On the left and right, Domyeongjonja and Mudokgwyang are attendant disciples. The 10 kings in the netherworld are indeed those who rule hell. If you want to see the king's trial and punishment of the dead, visit Seongbo Museum of this temple, where you can watch them. In museum, you may find this bright golden bodhisattva called Gonchil Bosal. It was created in 1501 during the Joseon dynasty. The artisans created the statue by making a wood skeleton wrapped with hemp clothes, applying mud, and removing flames. It's a rare Buddha statue in this country. From now on, let's appreciate the 10 scroll paintings of hell created in 1799. They show how the 10 kings judge and punish the sinners in their hell. If you look closely, there is a lot of humor in it, to your surprise. This is the first king Jingguang's hell. When a person died, he is brought to this king's hell on the 7th day. If he is guilty, the jailer would lay him on the iron bed and drive thick iron nails into his body. Why do female prisoners chat comfortably like women talking in cafes today? Here is the second king Chogang's hell. The deceased will meet the king on the 14th day. He punishes a sinner by pulling out his long intestines. The 2 convicts looked detached, as if the punishment was someone else's business. It's the third king Songjae's hell. The dead are brought here on the 21st day. He punishes a sinner by pulling out his tongue and tilling the tongue with a cow and plow. This fourth king Ogwan's hell is where the deceased come on the 28th day. Here is a boiling cauldron. A sinner is thrown into it, pierced on a spear. One of the three female convicts with deep lipstick is flirting with a man with a kang on his neck. It's the fifth king Yamna's hell. The deceased is to meet him on the 35th day. The sinner is crushed in a large iron mortar. Look at the scene of the slaughtering a cow on the circular monitor. That karmic mirror reflects all the sins a person committed in his life. However, the convicts' faces are full of curiosity. Let's watch the sixth king Byungsung's hell. The dead would meet him on the 42nd day. Swords are standing like trees where the sinner would be thrown. Here is the seventh king Taesan's hell. The dead would meet him on the 49th day. A jailer ties a criminal to a rack and saw him vertically. It's the eighth king Pyeongdung's hell. He is king who judges the dead on the 100th day. A heavy iron latch is lowered to crush the sinner. Unbound female prisoners wore dark lipstick are giggling. They know that hell is originally a fiction or an allegory. The hell is full of touches of humor like this. It's the ninth king Toshi's hell. He is the king who meets the sinners on their 1 year's day. He weighs sins with a unique karmic scale. Sinners are shivering in the freezing icy mountains. Lastly, it's the final king Odo Jeonyun's hell. This king judges and decides which realms the sinners will be born again. The deceased live for one of the 6 realms of reincarnation after sentences. The 6 realms of karmic existence are the heavenly realm, the human realm, the realm of malevolent spirits, the animal realm, the realm of hungry ghosts, and the realm of hell. How odd-looking the jailers are here. Coming out of the temple's back gate, you'd feel like you've just escaped the terrible 10 hells. Look at those silver grass flowers waving like clouds. You may suppose that this is like heaven. The silver grasses wave their pure white souls only in this season. No, they are waving goodbye to the dead who are living to be born in the 6th realm. The grasses seem to say that no matter where you are born, be born as a human being in the next life. Since this temple has a long tea tradition, a tea tree field is newly made here. Samguk-sagi says that during King Heungdeok's reign, tea was introduced into Silla. However, some Chinese literature says that Kim Gyeogak, a prince of Silla, brought to Silla's tea, Gumji-cha, and planted it in Mount Guhwa Sanpeng 109 years before that. That suggests that he introduced the tea culture of this temple to Tang. Recently, Venerable Yeong-song went to China and collected the tea seeds Venerable Kim Gyeogak brought there. He succeeded in getting them to their homeland 1,300 years later. Let's go to Maewaldang Kim Shisup's shrine. He authored Gumo mythology, the first classic fiction in Chinese in Korea, while staying at Yeongjangpyeol Valley in Mount Namsan, Gyeongju for 7 years. Look at this portrait, which Confucian scholars in Gyeongju kept safely here when the monarch destroyed the shrine. While birds fly in the distant sky, the visitor's hearts are as rich as ever on the return. They are full of flowers and the sound of water.